It was an easy sell to its owner and its future pilot.
It was a great opportunity, something I've always wanted to do, so I jumped on it.
Ed Granado now understands that joy. He just made his first solo flight.
And when I took off, my cheeks were killing me from smiling. It was the greatest experience.
And a trip that charted new opportunities for those desperate to reach for the sky.
Don't think that there's nothing you can do. Don't think you're hopeless. You know, find a way, make a way, go for it.
And Dylan is going for it. He's just a few hours of instruction away from making his first solo flight, too. John Roberts, CBS News, New York.
That's the CBS Morning News for this Monday. Thanks for being here with us, and we hope you join us later for the early show. I'm Melissa McDermott. Have a great day.
For news 24 hours a day, log on to cbsnews.com. Experience CBS News.
This week, what do you really know about germs? We know they're everywhere, small and sneaky. They creep into your body and can make you terribly sick. But can you protect yourself and clean up your life? And watch what happens as they get set to walk down the aisle. Behind the scenes before Rob and Amber's wedding. Plus, David Schwimmer and Mark Harmon on The Early Show.
Don't miss a minute or you'll miss a twist. CSI Miami, the season finale tonight.
No SUV has done it before. Mercury Mountaineer is first in owner loyalty 4 years in a row. And now there's roll stability control for added safety. Or check out the new compact Mercury Mariner, a great-looking alternative to Toyota RAV4 or Honda CR-V. And Mariner is Consumers Digest Best Buy.
And now is the perfect time to lease the new Mariner for just $219 a month for only 24 months. See your Mercury dealer today.
Ever wonder why they call it the Carpet Discount Barn?
I wonder why they call it the Carpet Discount Barn.
Carpet Discount Barn. Easy. Well, first of all, it's the place to go for carpet and flooring at drastically low prices. That leads to the second thing, the discount prices. And third, Carpet Discount Barn is huge, like a barn. A barn full of drastically discounted carpet, vinyl, and other flooring. Everything you need at a price you'll love. Carpet Discount Barn, Plant Street just off East Main, downtown Dothan.
You're watching WTVY News 4, your hometown news leader. You're watching WTVY News 4 this morning with Ann Varnum.
Well, good morning. Monday, May 23rd. Hope you're having a great new week. Today we'll talk to Kathy Cole from the Downtown Group of what's happening in Dothan. We'll continue our feature on behind the scenes and on the screen with a WTVY celebrity. And we have exercise tips with Candace McDaniel from Pick Up the Pace. Plus, a Cindy A. Man has a wonderful new recipe featuring portobello mushrooms and a homemade pizza. But first, the weather.
Monday, May the 23rd, 69 degrees. It is hazy, it is humid, and we may have yet another round of thunderstorms similar to Friday, but not quite the coverage and maybe the intensity, but still would be welcome rainfall. This time of the year, you sometimes get into having to take the bad with the good to get the rainfall in, but at least we got it Friday. West-southwest wind at 7 miles an hour. We'll see haze this morning, but it will be humid throughout the day, and we'll see more sun in the morning than the afternoon. Any of those thunderstorms that do pop, looks like they come in late in the afternoon, if not towards sunset itself. Temperature is pretty much in the upper 60s to 77 degrees at Destin. And you see statewide temperatures pretty much in the mid-upper 60s and to the lower 70s, 77. Almost in the summertime pattern, not quite. We'll talk about that in a moment. 60s and 76 at New Orleans, and you see a few 70s along the coast. And as far as national temperatures, cooled off a little bit in the middle part of the country, but summer slowly trying to exert itself as we head toward the last week of May. International Falls cool, but staying above freezing, and Great Lakes kind of cool. Now, what happens a lot of times, especially in the early and mid part of the summers, you get a upper atmospheric pattern that brings in cool air across the Great Lakes into the mid-Atlantic states. And it does get down to the Carolinas sometimes as far as the strong upper winds. And you'll see thunderstorms fire in the wake of that, and they'll go across the Ohio River Valley, maybe the northern Tennessee Valley into the Carolinas. But we're in that tight pattern now, but it's a little bit further south. We saw that Friday night with the thunderstorms coming in from the northwest and the north. And we're going to see that again today. It's just how much they fire, and there's there's a lot of questions about how much they're going to fire. Tropics could get interesting in the Caribbean again this week. Still that anomalous, unusual, strong. Now it's a south-southwesterly upper level flow coming across Mexico into the southern Gulf. And again, a little unusual, but if anything developed could actually affect southern Florida later this week, if anything developed. Look at this activity though. Boom! Look at this big mesoscale convective complex, or as we familiarly call it, a glob. And it's going to weaken as we go through the day, but some heavy rain with that. And then as these little outflow boundaries from the storms go through southeast use today, we're going to see thunderstorms fire up from that. The question is just where and how often they fire up, but it would be late in the afternoon into the evening hours. We'll have more on that at 6 o'clock. But you can see very pronounced heavy rainfall with these thunderstorms to the northwest of us. Here's your forecast for today. Most of the day will be fine. It will be hot, humid, hazy. 90 degrees, probably the first time this year officially. Thunderstorms could be strong late this afternoon, more likely into the early and mid-evening hours. More on this at 6. Let's head back to Ann.
Kathy Cole is here. You're going to see more of her as we talk about downtown Dothan. And Kathy, one time downtown Dothan was it. There was no other place. Now there's malls and shopping centers. And tell us a little bit about what you do and what the main emphasis is right now. I know you're doing the mural tour.
Right. Well, I'm the executive director of the Downtown Group. And of course, the Downtown Group, our goal, our mission is to revitalize and beautify our downtown area, which, you know, many years ago used to be a wonderful place to go and meet friends and shop and hang out at the local drugstore, and you know, that everything kind of moved out to the circle, which was unfortunate, because the downtown truly should represent the heart and soul of our city, and I see that there's a resurgence towards that.
A lot of cities are doing this. They're revitalizing their downtown area. Now, Pensacola has done this. I've done walking tours of it. And a lot of the areas are doing just
Panama
that.
City.
Yeah, they
and
really
who'd
are.
have thunk it? Because I remember going downtown Panama City.
It was dead.
And it was dead. And now, you know, you can go on a Saturday and you can shop and eat, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
And one thing that's going to be contributing quite a bit to the success of Dothan overall is our new Dothan magazine.
Absolutely. Robin Rayner and Dave Brown over at the Image Agency have done something that I've wanted to see happen for many, many years, and that is publish a magazine that just focuses on Dothan.
And this new edition, which is on the newsstands right now, I believe, features the famous and perhaps infamous sometimes Buddy Bowie.
And that they love to talk about what's happening around town, and they show up at events. And so, you know, you might want to buy the magazine. You might see yourself in it.
Absolutely. It's like our show. If you watch it long enough, you may see yourself or your next door neighbor. That's what we try to do here. And now you've got some new restaurants coming to downtown.
And it is amazing what's happening. And I'm so proud. We have some incredible entrepreneurs downtown. And if you're familiar with the old Penny building on Foster Street, there are some new owners. And John Montrum and Rick Llewellyn have opened where Stray Cats used to be on the, you know, across from the federal courthouse side of the building, is Serafino's, which is a wonderful Mediterranean restaurant, and I frequent it quite often. And it's really, word is getting out, and it's becoming kind of the in place to go downtown in the evenings for dinner.
And of course, you've got great, I believe Snobs is very popular, and the design is phenomenal.
Billy Holmes is my hero. Here is an entrepreneur who went in and looked at an old building and had a vision. And he carried out the vision of you know, taking that space and restoring it back to its original beauty. And if you go in there, and he doesn't mind if people just drop in, but Billy has a wonderful salon. And upstairs, he's putting in a day spa, which should be opening in June.
Oh boy, I'd love to do that.
I would too. And he also put in a loft upstairs. So he's got the concept of the downtown, a place where you can not only go to eat or get your hair done, but where you can live. And that's what we would like to see more of downtown.
And of course, in New Orleans, we know that some of the most famous places are right downtown. So what about, if people would like to know more about the buildings, the availability of a space, anything about downtown Dothan, you're the place to be.
And I encourage anyone to call me at my office at 793-3097 or email me at downtowndothan@yahoo.com. I am available to talk to people. I know everyone that owns a building that's for sale. I can, you know, arrange a tour, and, you know, my only interest is to get more businesses downtown, more variety of businesses. I'd love to see some specialty shops, and I would be happy to show people around downtown Dothan.
Well, Kathy has the enthusiasm, and as we grow as a city and we have more opportunities for people, you might want to take it downtown. That's what she's trying to tell us about. 793-3097. Thank you so much, Kathy Cole.
Do you have a secret fishing spot? A little corner of Alabama, located far from life's distractions. The kind of place where you can share a meaningless conversation about worms that you'll remember 30 years from now. And success means more than catching the latest reality show. If you're still looking for a place like that, visit OutdoorAlabama.com. Outdoor Alabama. Share the wonder.
Ann Varnum here at the Restonic Mattress Gallery. With 65% of our body weight in the center third of our body, it's no wonder mattresses sag in the middle. Only Restonic offers the marvelous middle, where they put more coils into the center third of the mattress, causing it to last longer. Restonic also offers a complete line of adjustable beds.
You can see the difference with your eyes closed at Restonic Mattress Gallery.
Baby back ribs, every night $8.79 at Golden Corral. Best rib deal in America. Ooh, baby. Only at Golden Corral.
Picture a brighter future at Wallace Community College, where your future is our focus. Whether your goal is to transfer to a four-year university, enter the healthcare profession, or learn a technical skill, Wallace is a great place to start.
I attended Wallace Community College. I was very pleased with the way the instructors prepared me to find a good job, that I can support my family, and it's something that I really enjoy doing.
Let Wallace Community College help bring your future into focus. Registration is May 24th. Classes begin May 25th.
Well, last Monday, Candace McDaniel talked about easy ways to get rid of our flying squirrels, she called it. And all of us older ladies are beginning, some of the younger ones too, got flab here. But if you've worked some of your upper body, you might want to work some of your lower body. And Candace, we have a young lady that's only been there a few weeks, and tell us her progress.
She's been a member of Pick Up the Pace since March. Her name is Patty Hopkins. She's lost 5 1/4 inches so far, and she's still losing. And she's going to be demonstrating some of our lower body exercises.
And she also has suffered from arthritis, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to lubricate those joints, and the way you do it simple. Now you can do this at home, but if you go to Pick Up the Pace, they have machines that help you guide you through this.
Right, and so there's no room for error. Now, you do have to be careful that, you know, you do these correctly and slowly, because there is room for error and you may get hurt. But at Pick Up the Pace, you don't have to worry about that, because our machines will help you.
The machines will tell you what to do. Okay, now, at home and you want to get in shape. All right, tell us what she's doing.
First, she's going to do the squat, okay? So she wants to stand shoulder width apart and spacing straight as she comes back down.
So she didn't have to do it all the way down. I was afraid if I got down there, I wouldn't get up.
No. The best thing you want to remember is that you don't want your knees to come past your toes. You don't want them to go past it. So when you squat down, you should still be able to see your toes. So you really want to poke that butt out and keep that back straight.
I love that.
Now, the second thing she's going to do is called a plie. And this is going to work her inner thigh muscles, okay? Because the last one just worked her glutes, her hamstrings, and her quads.
All right, point to her leg where it's working.
Okay. This right here is working her quads. It's working her inner thighs right here. It's also working her glutes back here, okay?
All right, so you have to do about how many of those each turn?
What we say is start out slow. Start out with just doing 1 set of 5. Then work your way up to 1 set of 10, 1 set of 15, 1 set of 20. Then start adding more sets to it. So where your goal is to do 3 sets of 20 apiece, okay?
Okay.
The next thing she'll do is the lunges, okay? She's just going to go straight in front. Her knee does not have to go all the way down to the floor, okay?
Yeah.
She's keeping her back straight, her chest poked out. as she goes back and forth like that. That's working her quads, her hamstrings, and it's working her calves at the same time.
And it's lubricating her joints.
It is.
Very important. Arthritis patients need to have some kind of exercise that won't damage them.
Okay, the next thing is we're going to have her lie down on the mat. This is a yoga mat that you can purchase anywhere at Walmart or anything. And she's going to do her side leg raises, okay? She'll bring her leg up and back down, keeping her her right leg bent up underneath her. She's supporting her weight by her elbow. She's keeping her back straight and just coming up in a very controlled motion and going back down. This is actually working her hips and her outer thighs, okay? And the next thing I like to call the saddleback swing, okay?
Saddleback. Every lady has saddlebags unless they're Cindy Ivy over there. She doesn't have one, but everybody else does. Okay.
Okay, this is going to be working primarily her hip area, okay, and getting rid of those saddlebags. And you just, a very controlled motion, swinging back and then forward, okay? And that's, oh, we did forget to do the calf raises, because calves are very, very important. So if you'd like to stand up, you can do the calves.
Okay, that's
show
that
everyone.
hunky part right here.
And if you need to, you can rest your hand on me, okay? And then just go up on your toes and come back down.
Oh, that's easy. Just up and down.
And down. And that'll really, really help her calves. Now, they may get a little crampy, so what you want to do is you want to lunge down, keeping your back foot down, your heel down, and then just lunge forward like that right there, stretching that leg. And the reason why we're doing a lot of muscle building exercises is because the #1 way to boost your metabolism is to have that lean muscle tissue. 1 pound of lean muscle tissue is going to burn about 50 calories per day for you. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn and the more you can eat.
That is so much sense. That's great. You're going to pick up the pace, I guess. All right, you want to try these exercises at home. Next Monday, we're going to give an overview of things you can do to get in shape, to lose. And you might want to just dismiss your scales. That doesn't mean throw away everything in your house, but don't eat as much. But you don't want to overeat. But at the same time, you want to concentrate on building lean muscle. And if you remember the thing, she had a globby piece of fat, and it's all squished out, and then one muscle weighing the same thing, it's going to make you look so thin. And congratulations to you. And Candace, look forward to next week when we give you an overview of some things you can do.
Good morning, Dothan. How'd you sleep last night? Well, you'll rest easy with the grand reopening of Good Morning Mattress Center. With our in-store factory coupons, you'll choose from any bed in our beautiful showroom, then we'll double the coupon discount. We'll even triple the savings on our best beds. So hurry in and take advantage of double and triple factory coupon savings. Plus, pay no interest till 2007. Only at your Good Morning Mattress Center, 3702 Montgomery Highway, just north of Westgate.
Hi, folks. Sam Boswell, Honored Enterprise. Our commitment to you, our customers, has always been no gimmicks, just a fair deal. Come by and check out our 3 different models of hybrids. These get excellent gas mileage. You won't believe. In fact, all our new Hondas, including the new Ridgeline truck, have excellent EPA ratings. If you don't know cars, you need to know your car dealer. Then if Sam says it's so, it's so.
When I get my carpets cleaned, I don't want to worry about who's coming into my house. Sometimes other carpet cleaners use subcontractors. Stanley Steamer doesn't, and that's why I call them.
At Stanley Steamer, all of our technicians are our employees, so we can put them through rigorous background checks and training. Let the real professionals clean your carpets the right way. Call today and ask about our $99 special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets carpet cleaner.
DeniVision, helping you see through technology. DeniVision wants to make ordering your contact lenses less complicated and hassle-free. Now you can order your contact lenses with the simple click of your mouse and never have to leave your home. Simply go online to DeniVision.com or to WTVYNews4.com's homepage and click on DeniVision's logo. By going there now, you can register for an opportunity to receive a free pair of fashion sunglasses by simply filling out an online form and submitting it to DeniVision. DeniVision, helping you see through technology.
Well, the first time I met Connor Vernon, he and his sidekick at the time, Jerome, was on my show cooking. We'll have to run that as a funny thing because you had a lot of fun doing that. The two of you were on the radio together.
Yes.
And we did not know that you had a background as a meteorologist.
Well, you know, I was here at radio station KMX back in the 70s. Went to Montgomery, ended up working on the TV station up there, then went to Tallahassee, worked TV station there. But we always really did like this area. I have kin folks over in Georgia, over in Donaldsonville. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, and family over there. So we wanted to try to get back, and that's how we ended up back here. Frankly, I never thought that I would come back to this area. But I'm so glad that we did. It's been a great, the last couple of years have been great personally for me to be close to my family over there.
Well, now, of course, you do a lot of filling in, but weekends are primarily your domain right now.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, most people not really looking to do that, but for me it's worked out perfectly because I have some other things that I do. But Saturday and Sunday is a great time for me to work in here. And I didn't count on, though, I'll tell you, when I first started, I didn't think we'd ever have severe weather. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about that. And then
and all of a sudden, look at you.
It seemed like for a couple of weeks in a row there, all we had was severe weather. And of course, we're heading into hurricane season now, but glad to be here.
Well, you've had some hairy experiences as a weathercaster other places as well. Anything particular you want to tell me about that?
Well, the great thing in Tallahassee when I was working there, I had a great chance to see a couple of hurricanes up close. And that was enough to tell me I need to get away from them.
Get away from it. Let's move out of that area.
And then I went to Austin, Texas and worked and was there for 15 years with a great TV station out there and got a great deal of experience with the tornadoes just to the north of us coming down from Oklahoma into Dallas and in that area. And it was just far enough away for us to see a lot of severe weather, but we didn't have a great deal of it, which was good. But it was great out there and loved Texas, as a matter of fact.
Well, I think we have a very strong newscast on the weekends now with Erica and also with Chris Harris.
Yeah, Chris is new, and I'm glad to have him and Erica, and we actually seem to enjoy working together, which is always a plus.
People like to see the interplay between the people on the air, and so we're doing these shows to primarily behind the scene and on the screen because you know that these people that run the camera, that do the directing, that produce the shows, we on the air could not do it without them.
No, and we've got a great crew here. That's something people never see, but it really does make a huge difference in what the entire newscast or even a show like this looks like, of the people behind the scenes.
And if they care.
Yeah, and I think they do here. I've seen them stop things and redo things that at other places they would have just gone ahead and said, go ahead and do it.
Well, Nathaniel Billings right now is running my camera, and if our chair's out of place or the flowers, I'm interested in talking. He's interested in making it look professional, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think everything looks good. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. The 50th anniversary. Plus, and I know you hadn't talked about this, you're receiving an award, Pioneer Award for this area.
Oh,
should I even mention that or not?
Yes, I think, well, thank you for doing that. Sure. I was really honored, and I was surprised because of people like Norma Hanson and Agnes Simpson down at Wolf. I was quite honored.
You should be.
So
you should be.
I appreciate you bringing it up. A lot of people have not congratulated me because they thought it was a secret, but Robin Rayner told me he had to tell me because I'd find out anyway.
Well, a big luncheon, and then everybody's going to know about it, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Your family now.
Yes.
What about your family? Tell me.
Dad lives in Birmingham. That's where I grew up, and I went to high school there, and I have a brother in Birmingham and also another one in Huntsville. He's a music teacher in Huntsville. My brother in Birmingham works for a big copying company. And then, as I mentioned, my extended family, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and folks over in Donaldsonville. I have a niece, Kimberly, that's third grade over there. I have a nephew, Boone, who's growing older and quicker by the minute. I think he's about 15.
But no children yourself?
No, Sue and I don't. My wife's a teacher at Highlands Elementary School. She teaches third graders.
Oh, that's a wonderful age, isn't it?
It's a great age because you can get them around the neck and just...
No, I know she wouldn't do that.
No, but she's a great teacher and she enjoys teaching.
Connor, it's a pleasure to have you on the program. I've heard so many wonderful comments about you.
Thank you.
And I'm enjoying your Dothan magazine that you work with Robin Rayner with.
Matter of fact, the second issue with Buddy Bowie, who I think you know.
I had you on the show the other day, and I got calls. Where can we get the copy?
Good.
It wasn't even out yet.
No, it's not out. It's going to be out this week, though, as a matter of fact. And people see it on newsstands and a couple other places around. They can go online to dothanmagazine.com, and we've got a list there of places where they can pick up a magazine. But I'm having fun doing that. We're concentrating on people and businesses in this area, and have great photography in there, and hope everybody enjoys it.
That's right. So you can watch him here, and you can read about him in the Dothan magazine. Connor Vernon, thank you very much.
Thank you.
As we continue behind the scene and on the screen at WTVY.
Elegant style and comfort, you'll find it all at Parker Furniture.
Our inventory is bigger and better than ever. You'll find the newest styles and fabrics on our showroom floor.
Our selection of solid wood bedroom and dining suites is unbelievable, and so are the prices.
We also offer special order purchases at no additional charge. As always, free delivery and setup, and 12 months interest-free financing is available.
Visit us at Parker Furniture in Headland, where elegance need not be expensive.
And Varnum here with the remarkable new discovery of the fat loss patch. The patch goes on and the fat comes off. It's the easiest, simplest way to lose weight. It's not a diet, it's not a pill, it's not a shake, it's a patch. I wear one. It activates fat burning to help you lose pounds and inches. It curbs your appetite and cuts cravings. It is natural, gentle, and has no side effects. The fat loss patch is only available at Dr. Ken's Nutrition Center. Come see Dr. Ken and start losing weight in inches today.
Sardines packed tightly in a can is a good thing. Your buddies packed in a crew cab isn't. Chevy Silverado half-ton crew cab. A bigger interior than Ford, Dodge, and Toyota proves it takes more than a couple extra doors to make a real crew cab. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Through May 31st, use hot button bonus to lease an 05 Silverado half-ton crew cab for around $269 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for lease details.
See your South Central Alabama Chevy dealer today.
Man, it is drafty upstairs. Maybe it's time I go back to heating the house. Huh?
Want every corner of your home to be warm and cozy? Trust clean, reliable propane. Warm up to it at usepropane.com.
Well, if you come in tonight and you want something quick and easy, and you love pizza, do we have great news for you. You might have to stop by the grocery store and get one or two items, but most of the things you will have in your shelf. This is a recipe that it is from your cookbook, right?
Well, no, I don't have this one in the cookbook. This is...
That'll have to be volume 2,
absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely.
But we're going to be telling you about In Search of My Mother's Kitchen. It has been a tremendously successful cookbook. You got a wonderful group of recipes of all kinds. And this is because she's very creative, and evidently you found your mother's kitchen because you're a great chef.
Well, I think I did. Yes, I did. This is a, as Ann said, a quick and easy pizza. I've been a pizza baker for over 30 years, and I did the traditional pizza. I used to try and do my own crust, but I found that the purchased crust was right every time, and mine was not always so. But this is a different take on pizza. I have a portobello mushroom pizza, and the portobello mushroom, which are these large mushrooms, serve as the crust. It's really easy and quick and absolutely delicious. Men even like these.
If you don't tell them it's a mushroom, they will never know.
Well, the amazing thing about the portobello mushroom is the texture is almost meat-like because it's nice and firm, so they don't really realize what they're eating, I think.
All right, so what do you top the portobello mushroom?
Okay, what you do is you, of course, wash and pat dry the portobello mushroom, and you take the underside and you remove this stem before you start adding your ingredients. But I brush it with olive oil, and then I add a pizza sauce or a spaghetti sauce. But I like to go light on that. I don't like too tomatoey a taste in a pizza. Then I sprinkle it with packaged cheese.
Your favorite.
Yes. And then I sprinkle on some Italian herbs, usually basil and oregano. Then I put whatever toppings I'm going to put on the pizza. On this one, I have put pepperoni. And then on this other one, I have Italian sausage and mushroom. And I found that with these type pizzas, less is more. You get more of the robust flavor of the mushroom, and you taste more of the pepperoni or the Italian sausage, whichever it is you're using. if you have less ingredients. And of course, you don't have nearly as much room to pile on a lot with this pizza.
But you've also added this to a wonderful crusty bread.
Absolutely. I take French bread, and I use French bread instead of Italian because Italian tends to be a little fat. But I slice it in half lengthwise, scoop out the interior, and then you can load on your ingredients. But be careful not to load on too much. You'll be tempted to put too many ingredients, and then you sacrifice something, I think, in the flavor. But again, I brush.
In your dreams, you have one tractor for small jobs, another for medium jobs, and yet another for big, tough jobs. Then your wallet places a wake-up call. Good thing there's a Massey Ferguson 400 Series tractor that can tackle just about any job you've got in mind. 7 models, 44 to 85 PTO horsepower, combined rugged practicality with hard-working versatility. So visit Wells Tractor Company in Dothan, your Massey Ferguson dealer today. Nobody gives you more tractor for your money. And thanks, Tri-States, for 49 great years.
Did you know that Dixieland Dental offers one-day service on dentures and partials? If you need repairs done on your dentures or partials, they can be handled while you wait. But an appointment is necessary, so call Dixieland Dental today at 1-800-448-4089 or 983-3558. Call for an appointment today. Get one-day service at Dixieland Dental, located on 231 north of Dothan at Midland City. Call for your appointment today at Dixieland Dental in Midland City.
Are you looking for a special piece of furniture for your home? Shop the Antique Attic at 5037 Fortner Street in Dothan. We've been buying and selling antiques at this location since 1969. We've expanded to 13,000 square feet, filled with European and American furniture, oil paintings, tapestries, bronzes, and marble statuary. Browse our latest containers of antiques from Europe. Shop the Antique Attic for unique antique treasures from the past. We bring the world to Dothan.
What is propane? A certain warmth, a feeling of ease, a comfort in knowing that in your corner of the world, things are right. Propane. Clean, efficient, exceptional energy. See what propane can do for you with the energy savings calculator at usepropane.com.
You're watching WTVY News 4, your hometown news leader. From your hometown news leader, this is WTVY News 4 This Morning.
Good morning. Just ahead, the mystery continues in Idaho after 3 people were killed. And a 33-year-old man in Dallas is arrested on capital murder charges in the death of an 11-year-old girl. These are some of your top stories for Monday, May 23rd, 2005. Good morning, I'm Lauren Davis. It's 6 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. And now Chief Meteorologist Oscar Fan joins us for the first check at our forecast. I like the yellow shirt.
Well, anyway.
Getting ready for
springtime.
summer.
One a bad weekend, has some welcome rainfall on Friday. You know, May has been kind of a dry month, but last year May was kind of a dry month. And we have some parallels to the weather this year that we had last year. Hopefully that doesn't carry over to the hurricane season.
Right.
But if you might remember, June got rather wet, so we may see that coming up. 69 degrees, do have some hazy conditions, some foggy conditions this morning, and temperatures around the area pretty much anywhere from the upper 60s to 77 degrees at Destin. High today around 90, that'd be the first official time we hit it. 65 for low. Look for yet another round of possible showers and maybe a couple of strong thunderstorms during the evening hours. Then dry most of the week, but then we start to set up into more of a scattered thunderstorm pattern toward the weekend.
All right. Thanks, Oscar. Talk to you later. A shootout in Grangeburg area of Houston County leaves one woman behind bars. According to the Houston County Sheriff's Department, Starla Celeste Money started firing a gun randomly inside her home around 8 o'clock Sunday morning. Neighbors allegedly called the authorities, and she fired twice at the sheriff's deputies when they arrived. It took 8 hours before officials could talk her out of the house. Money is now in the Houston County Jail under no bond. She will make her first court appearance today. A Panama City man is dead this morning after a fatal stabbing over the weekend. Police say Tristan Robinson and 22-year-old Darius Terrell were arguing over a girl when Terrell stabbed him in the chest with a kitchen knife. Darius Terrell is from Hollandale, Florida, and believed to be headed in that direction. Police say they have notified South Florida authorities. Police say Terrell should have bruises and cuts on his face after the beating he took from a crowd of witnesses. Call Panama City Police if you have any information at 850-872-3100. Investigators are still trying to unravel the mystery of who killed 3 people in Idaho, then possibly abducted 2 children. It's been a full week since 8-year-old Shasta Griom and her 9-year-old brother Dylan went missing. And as Terry Okita reports from Idaho, there are still no suspects or a motive.
It's a whodunit that one weekend has baffled authorities. 3 FBI profilers from Quantico, Virginia have been assigned to help figure out who would have bound and beaten Brenda Groney, her 13-year-old son, and her boyfriend, then take off with her 2 youngest kids, Shasta and Dylan. After investigating, profilers will map out the likes, dislikes, and personality traits of not only a killer, but potentially a child abductor.
We brought people in special, so again, we can turn this around as quickly as we possibly can and make sure that we bring the best people so that it's done right and we can get some good solid leads.
40 local, state, and federal officers are following leads specifically for this case, and they've gone high-tech, asking the public if they see the kids to snap a picture with their camera phones, then email it to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Department here in Coeur d'Alene. Investigators have finished their searches of nearby Lake Coeur d'Alene, the Groney home and neighborhood, and nearby creeks and streams. It seems Shasta and Dylan have simply vanished, and their disappearance has taken its toll on their father.
He hasn't been able to eat because he doesn't know if Shasta and Dylan are eating. He gets into bed and he can't get comfortable because he doesn't know where they're sleeping, and he can't drink water because he doesn't know if they've had any water.
Family members say they've racked their brains and gone over every possible scenario. They just don't know who would do this. Detectives don't think this was random, but they're still trying to piece together a motive. Terry Okita, CBS News, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Authorities have set up an email address to send any of those pictures of the children to. That address is kcgov/tips@hotmail.com. Neighbors in an apartment complex in Fayetteville, North Carolina are stunned after a man shoots his soldier wife, then turns the gun on himself. Authorities say they received a call Sunday afternoon from a man who said he had just shot his wife and was about to shoot himself. But the soldier and her husband were later found dead in the apartment by police. According to police, the woman had just returned from serving in Iraq. Both Fayetteville police and Fort Bragg investigators were at the scene. Investigators say the soldier's husband was a registered sex offender. Dallas, Texas police arrested a 33-year-old man on capital murder charges in the death of an 11-year-old girl. Caitlin Smith didn't return home after a sleepover at a friend's house Friday night. According to authorities, Stephen Lynn Long allegedly beat and strangled Smith, then dumped her body under a vacant mobile home. Police say the crime appears to be sexually motivated, and Long was staying with the family Caitlin was visiting. He was arrested after police got a warrant against him. His bond was set at $500,000. An 18-month-old Georgia toddler died this weekend after an aunt allegedly backed over her with a minivan. Authorities say Teresa Velez didn't see her niece behind the vehicle as she was backing out of the garage. The toddler was taken to Scottish Rite Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. After receiving news of the accident, the toddler's mother, who is 6 months pregnant, was taken to another hospital as a precaution. The aunt has not been charged in the accident. In national news this Monday morning, President Bush sits down with Afghan President Ahmed Karzai at the White House today. Ahead of the meeting, Karzai said he wants greater control over U.S. military operations in his country. The Afghan leader also rejected reported criticisms from American officials that he isn't doing enough to battle his nation's opium trade. In a speech to Boston University graduates, Karzai said countries should look beyond their national interest in making foreign policy. First Lady Laura Bush continues her Middle East trip today with a stop in Egypt. Sunday, she encountered the region's tensions firsthand during visits to 2 of the world's holiest sites. Protesters greeted her at the Temple Mount and Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. She urged peace and said the demonstration showed, quote, what an emotional place this is. And there are reports Michael Jackson's defense may rest its case as early as this week. Before wrapping up, Jackson's lawyers are expected to call Tonight Show host Jay Leno to the witness stand. They originally estimated the defense could take as long as 8 weeks, but have moved more quickly with the host witnesses supporting the pop star's claims that he did not molest his accuser. Once the defense completes its case, both sides present closing arguments, then the jury begins deliberations. Temperatures soared in Texas over the weekend, with highs topping out in the upper 90s and low 100s in some areas. In Austin, 96-degree-plus weather didn't stop some people from missing their daily workout. Forecasters say skies are clear, so radiational warmth has helped temperatures to build. A high-pressure ridge west of U.S. continues to be the dominant weather feature. Temperatures also were reported to be 99 degrees in Dallas-Fort Worth area and 98 degrees in Houston. Well, we haven't seen those temperatures here yet, but they may be coming.
Well, it gets pretty hot out in obviously the desert Southwest and in Texas. Dallas has usually 30 days in summer above 100 degrees. We don't have that many. Usually about every other year, every third year, maybe we get 2 or 3, 4, 5 days above 100 degrees, and unfortunately it's been about 3 years. So we'll keep them at bay. We'll probably hit 90 degrees today. Maybe that'd be the first official day. And it looks like for the rest of the week and next week we're in a northwesterly flow will keep us fairly on the comfortable side, and maybe better chances of rain toward the weekend, so maybe we can avoid the 90s for a while. Well, let's show what's going on. Let's show Power Doppler Plus. Nothing out there this morning. But again, remember last year, May was a fairly dry month. We finally got our first official rainfall late last week, and got a return out here near Lake City. Not sure if that's a real little light shower or not. But then June, boy, June turned into a rather rainy month. I think out of 30 days last June, only about 6 did not report rainfall. And it looks like 1st of June, well, let's see, this coming weekend still Memorial Day weekend, but we will see scattered showers around the area. And so we may get into the rainy pattern a little earlier this year. So it's not really drying out just yet, but that Friday rainfall definitely was a welcome sight, even though there were a few strong thunderstorms. Here's your current temperature. We're at 69 degrees. It is humid. We do have some haze and patchy fog out there this morning. And winds west-southwest at 7. Will be fairly light during the morning hours. And once the fog burns off, then we'll have a good bit of sunshine with increasing clouds in the afternoon. Yet another round of showers and possibly a few strong thunderstorms coming in during the early mid-evening hours once again. Temperatures anywhere from the mid-60s at Troy, basically in the upper 60s to 77 degrees at Destin. And as far as what we're looking at with southeast temperatures, about the same, not a whole lot of difference. And as far as southeast temperatures, 64 at Chattanooga, 76 at New Orleans, 65 at Columbia. And I will get Asheville back on the map here at one point. Temperatures from storm swallows yesterday, not too bad. Mid-80s for the most part, 87 from Shane at Ozark. We did have 81 on Saturday. Wow, that was nice. After that welcome rainfall, as we mentioned on Friday. And finally, Panama City Beach, water temperature has hit 80 degrees. Very similar forecast to what we saw last week down there for the day. Southwest wind, light early part of the day, picking up toward the afternoon and evening. Seas building just a little bit. And light, basically smooth conditions this morning, becoming a light chop midday and moderate chop toward the evening as the winds pick up. Maybe a few rip currents problems later this afternoon, more likely into the overnight hours. And I don't advise swimming at night. Some people love to go out there in the early evening, but that's when all the marine life decides it's time to stretch and start munching down on a few things. And if you've ever been out on a pier when people fish at night and with those lights and you're amazed at all the interesting wildlife that goes swimming near shore, I rest my case. Temperatures as far as high tides, highs coming up the morning hours, low tides coming up during the evening hours. All right, the tropics kind of quiet, but once again, we may have something trying to develop in the Caribbean as far as clusters of thunderstorms. And later in the week, they actually could reach up towards South Florida. Nothing really organized just yet, still a little early, but look at that big cluster orange in the upper left of your screen. A bunch of thunderstorms have come together to form a mesoscale convective complex. I think it's easy just to say a big glob of rain, heavy rain at times. That will break up during the morning hours, but then that will fire back up as individual thunderstorms later this afternoon and tonight. The question is, how many and how strong will they fire up as they head toward us later this afternoon and tonight? As long as we're in this northwesterly flow, we'll see this occasionally, and we'll see humidity go up and then go back down, and we won't be locked into summertime humidity just yet. But at some point, this flow will break down or retreat to the north, and we'll get into more of a summertime flow. Here's your forecast for today, looking at a high of 90. It'd be the first official day we've hit it. 65 for a low, and thunderstorms, some could be strong during the early mid-evening hours. Then dry most of the week. Slight chance of a shower Friday, better chance over the upcoming weekend. Lauren.
All right, thanks, Oscar. Researchers found exercise during pregnancy may reduce chances of premature birth. That story in Health News. But first.
I'm Alexis Christoforous. The stock market will try to build on last week's big gain. A preview in your CBS Money Watch.
Can inspiration be comfortable? Can you navigate the world with ease? Yes. Does uncommon luxury and roominess play a role? Yes. Can it combine that with confidence? With a 5-star front crash test rating? Absolutely. The totally new Chrysler 300.
Now grab $1,000 May bonus cash on the Chrysler 300. Hurry to your Chrysler dealer. Offer ends soon.
Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Are you hungry?
My name is Leroy and I work for Post Cereal.
My favorite cereal is Honey Bunches of Oats. Honey Bunches of Oats.
Every spoonful is a little different. Bit of honey in there, it's a perfect balance.
It's like a mouthful of joy.
They got 3 kinds of flavors.
Different textures, different shapes.
Crunchy clusters.
Oh.
Honey Bunches of Oats taste brand new every time you have it.
The clusters are more of a crunch, you know, where the flakes are more of a crisp.
It's the cereal you'd make if you made cereal.
New Honey Bunches of Oats cereal bars. It's like Honey Bunches of Oats to go.
No spoons required.
Chiropractic care is for neck pain, tension, falls, strains, and back pain. Chiropractic care can also help chronic pain such as arthritis, carpal tunnel, sciatica, degeneration, headaches, and lower back pain. Chiropractic helps you do what you can to have your health.
Why not let us help you? Call today for a free consultation.
Sanders Chiropractic, now that feels so good.
Old Mexico has been serving the most authentic Mexican food in the area for years. Now we've expanded our menu to include tasty, low-carb items. Try our grilled salmon with steamed vegetables and white rice, or tasty vegetable fajitas. Enjoy casual dining with friends and family while you try these new entrees or the Old Mexico favorites you've come to love. You can also relax and watch the game in our bar area.
The way you like it, Old Mexico restaurant.
During Ford's National Test Drive event, people just love getting into our Ford Explorer. Trouble is, getting them out.
So you like the handling? Oh, yeah. The power? Oh, yeah. The comfort and room for up to 7? Oh, yeah. So, I'm not going to get you out of this Explorer, am I? Oh, no.
During Ford's National Test Drive event, 0% for 60 months can save you over $10,300 in finance savings on Ford SUVs. Visit your neighborhood Ford dealer today.
You want to take it for another spin, don't you? Oh, yeah.
For insurance and financial services in Geneva, see State Farm agent Melanie Garner. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching WTVY News 4 This Morning with Lauren Davis and meteorologist Oscar Fan.
It's 6:14. Thanks for joining us. On Wall Street, optimism has returned to Wall Street with solid economic data and falling oil prices last week, giving the stock market its strongest week of the year. Alexis Christoforous has more in Money Watch.
Investors will try to build on the stock market's best week since November. Signs that inflation is under wraps and a slide in oil below $48 a barrel fueled the rally. In the last session, the Dow snapped a 4-day winning streak down 21 points. In the broader market, S&P dipping more than a point. The Nasdaq barely made it 6 winning days in a row on a gain of 3. Investors will have more evidence on just how the economy is performing in the coming days when we get reports on personal income, consumer sentiment, and home sales. The red-hot housing market may soon start to cool off. That's what Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan told an economics group in New York. Greenspan says there is what he calls froth in the housing market, but no national housing bubble. Greenspan predicts sky-high home prices will start to come down in the coming months. And a New York grand jury is considering possible criminal charges in a probe of AIG. The insurance giant said improper accounting inflated its net worth, and New York Attorney General Eliot Spitzer is presenting evidence to the jury, which will then weigh whether to issue indictments. Track all the business headlines. Click on CBSNews.com. I'm Alexis Christoforous, WTVY News 4 This Morning.
In health news, an aspirin a day may not be the best medicine for the elderly, according to a new study. Doctors often recommended a daily low-dose aspirin to help prevent heart attacks and stroke. But researchers found for people aged 70 and older, the benefits may be offset by the risks. Researchers constructed a mathematical model that suggests episodes of gastric bleeding would be slightly higher than the number of heart attacks and strokes low-dose aspirin would prevent. They say their findings highlight the need for a clinical trial of aspirin use in elderly patients. A new study shows too little sleep and too much TV may be early warning signs of childhood obesity. Researchers found more than 8 hours of TV a week or less than 10.5 hours of sleep each night for a 3-year-old increase the risk the child will become overweight. There are 6 other risk factors: early body fat, rapid weight gain, and having obese parents. The study's authors stressed efforts to prevent obesity should be given very early in life. And Indian researchers found yoga during pregnancy seems to improve birth weight and reduce prematurity and overall complications. In the study, 14% of deliveries were premature in the group that practiced yoga, while 29% were premature in the control group. Rates of pregnancy-related high blood pressure were also lower in the yoga group. The researchers say yoga may work to improve pregnancy outcomes by increasing blood flow to the placenta and decreasing the transfer of maternal stress hormones. Chief Meteorologist Oscar Fan will be back with a look at your forecast, and here's what Mr. Food will show us a little later on your Hometown News Leader.
Fast food doesn't have to mean heading out of the house. We've got a more wholesome idea, and no rushing. You'll see.
Toyota's nationwide sales drive with phenomenal selection at every turn. Check out the Toyota Camry, the best-selling car in America. Just announced, get an extra $250 cash back on the Camry Standard model. That's $1,500 total cash back on 05 Camry Standard models. Visit your local Toyota dealer or buyatoyota.com today. Toyota's nationwide sales drive is on now, owning the winner's circle. Now that's moving you forward.
Realize you look ridiculous. I can't talk. I'm incognito. You're not gonna give up on this everybody is staring at me thing, are you, Mickey? Look, if it bothers you, let's just fly somewhere else. You know, I think you like the fact that people are staring up here.
So you admit that people are staring up at us?
I didn't say staring at us. I said staring up here.
Same difference.
Yeah, right. Whatever you say, Mr. Incognito.
Smart. Our store is a great place to start. We got the selection, we got the right brands with the quality you demand. The smartest way to do your homework, Builders Lighting and Appliance.
At the Southeast Alabama Gas District, your home is where our heart is. You know what makes your house a home: family, friends, comfort. From lighting and grilling to water heating and space conditioning, the Southeast Alabama Gas District is here to make your house a comfortable home, because we want natural gas to be your family's natural choice.
Southeast Alabama Gas District, your natural choice.
Are you all right?
Yeah. So are you serious about that?
Yeah. If you drop a call, Alto will give you a credit automatically.
Wow.
When you get an automatic 1-minute credit for any call dropped on the Altel network, what's not to love?
For weather updates between our newscasts, tune to Thunder 1039. Power Doppler Plus, presented by Herndon Shell. Meteorologist Oscar Finn in the Power Doppler Plus Storm Center.
And you know, we're getting into the summertime conditions when the studio air conditioning doesn't start working that well, and it's definitely just about on cue as Lauren's fanning herself over there. Whew, all right, let's show what's going on. There you go, see? All right, let's show what's going on with the current temperature, 69 degrees. Good move, Joe. And foggy conditions, or let's say patchy fog, some hazy conditions. The patchy fog's not quite as bad as it was a few minutes ago, but we do have low clouds in place. Winds west-southwest at 7 miles an hour, and 69 degrees is the current temperature. All right, now temperatures around the area, 65 at Troy, 77 at Destin. Things fall in between there. Panama City, a rather comfortable, if you want to call it that, 73 degrees, if you're comfortable if you're in the water. Temperatures around the state pretty much in the 60s in Georgia, mix of 60s and 70s in Alabama and Mississippi. Meridian pretty cool at 63 and 76 at New Orleans versus 64 up at Chattanooga. National temperatures started to rebound a little bit, still cool out in the northern Rockies and International Falls in the mid-40s. No surprise there. But again, it looks like they should be staying above freezing now. About the only temperatures that should flirt with freezing would be maybe elevations like Mount Washington in New England and maybe out in the northern Rockies, maybe occasionally getting down near freezing, but even that's going to be kind of tough to do at this point. 80-degree water temperature for the first time this season at Panama City Beach, and again, look for some evening showers and thunderstorms to erupt down there, similar to what we saw last Friday night and around the midnight hour, a little after. High tides coming up mid-morning, low tides during the evening. Winds very light this morning, will be picking up a little bit later this afternoon, especially in the evening hours, and also seas relatively flat this morning. We'll start to become a light chop as we go through the afternoon and moderate chop toward the evening hours. All right, tropics in the Pacific, rather quiet. Still have that very unusual, now it's a south-southwesterly upper flow coming in off the Pacific across the Yucatan Peninsula into the Gulf of Mexico. And a few thunderstorms over Puerto Rico around that area. And again, high pressure trying to build a loft over the western Caribbean and maybe extreme southern Gulf could induce thunderstorms to develop at times during the week that could affect Cuba and southern Florida. It doesn't look like anything organized. But look at the upper left of your screen, that big orange area. That is a cluster of thunderstorms that come together, and you get in that northwesterly flow. They go being sent down toward us. Now this will weaken as we go through the morning hours. The conditions that favor this will start to break up. But with sunshine, you get in these little outflow boundaries of concentrated water vapor moisture at the lower levels, and boom, you get thunderstorms pop up, and we'll probably see a band of thunderstorms pop up north and west of us, and then we'll try to move into the area late this afternoon and tonight. Probably not quite as widespread or as strong as we saw on Friday, but still has that potential, and it would be some brief heavy rainfall involved with that, and that would probably be doing possibly as early as late afternoon, more likely during the evening hours, depending on anything develops ahead of it. But this front will move right on down. This is a northwesterly flow that you quite often see in the north central or around the Great Lakes in the early part of the summer, and occasionally it extends all the way down to our area, and it looks like this will continue pretty much for the next 7 to 10 days. So the heat really stays in Texas to the west, and we will have bouts of humidity, but after these showers and thunderstorms move through, it looks like the humidity levels drop a little bit. We may actually drop into the upper 50s for Wednesday and Thursday morning, and then start to get back toward the upper 80s, possibly toward the weekend with widely scattered showers. Better chance of rain as we get in the middle of next week, which would be about the 1st of June. And as I mentioned before, remember last year, May was fairly dry, and then June turned rather rainy. 90 for a high, 65 for low. We'll see if that happens again this year. And then temperatures stay in the 80s for the rest of the week with widely scattered activity of showers toward the weekend. Lauren?
Thanks, Oscar. The Dothan Home Builders Association had their annual parade of homes this weekend. Hundreds of people were getting new ideas on what they might like in a new home. Around 30 homes were showcased in Dothan, and about 16 builders were represented. The parade of homes first started back in the 1960s, and since then has attracted large crowds each year from across the state.
We've probably had 300 or 400 people come through each day, and getting lots of good comments, lots of people that are interested in nice lots, and Dothan's just a great housing market, and so we're glad to provide high-end houses.
Some of the newest trends included more detail to windows and crown molding. If you are always in a rush and need something quick to fix for dinner, well, Mr. Food says use your leftovers.
Rushing seems to be in our nature. I mean, overnight deliveries and online shopping at the click of a mouse and the express lane at the market, and then there's dinner when we're in a rush. Well, it may surprise us to realize that we often have the makings for a satisfying full meal from all of those odds and ends that we've got left over in our fridge. If we serve them up with a novel twist, they won't even seem like leftovers. What's the twist? Serve them in potato skins. Yeah, the ones that we can bake our own, and we slice them in half, scoop them out, freeze them so they're ready in a pinch, or even easier is that we can buy the pre-made frozen ones. But either way, watch. Those last few slices of deli turkey in our fridge, cut up and tossed with last night's steamed broccoli and mixed with some cheese, we've got a full meal. Those don't look like leftovers, do they? No. And last night's leftover hamburger chunked up and combined with tomato sauce and some mozzarella, we have an Italian favorite. We could also combine leftover chicken with salsa, or corned beef with some sauerkraut, Russian dressing, and Swiss cheese. Wow, that's a potato Reuben. You see, there's no limit or rules. We know what we've got in the fridge and what our gang loves, and what we love too, because this little potato skin goes right from the freezer to the oven, and dinner's done in no time. It sounds so simple, but we can mix and match our way to a quick and tasty, ooh, it's so good.
The 8-year-old girl who was kidnapped from a Lake Worth, Florida home is back at home this morning. We'll have the very latest coming up.
Mrs. Bush is now in Egypt for the next stop of her 5-day Middle East tour. She's been met by protesters but says she's not discouraged. I'm Susan Roberts in Washington. I've got the story on her trip to the Middle East coming up.
How do you want to be remembered? Husband? Father? Burden? Today, 1 in 5 people over the age of 50 will need some type of long-term care in the next 12 months. But the good news is Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama now offers long-term care insurance, so you can protect your family and your assets from the unthinkable. Call Blue Cross today at 1-888-331-4188 or visit preferredltc.com.
Mr. Sophisticated, meet Mr. Adrenaline. The 2005 Lincoln Navigator and Lincoln Aviator. Lease Aviator now for just $449 a month. And ask about great lease offers on Navigator. Only at your Lincoln dealer.
Okay, Caroline, it's been a few weeks since you've done stuff around there. Are you ready?
I'm ready, no problem.
We'll stick with the basics. Watch and learn. Come by Toyota Oakland today and test drive this new 2005 Camry that's fully loaded for just $15,975.
Or this 2005 Toyota Corolla. It's also fully loaded and ready to move at just $13,975.
Not bad for a rookie.
Thanks. And remember that Toyota of Dothan is South Alabama's #1 volume Toyota dealer.
It's that time of year again. Time for the cleanup savings sale going on now at Brian Allaway Carpet 1. Save on all laminates. Clean up on national brand name floorings like Armstrong and Wilson-Art. Pay no interest till 2009. You heard right, no interest till 2009. It's a cleanup savings sale going on now at Brian Allaway Carpet 1. You've been walking on us for years, and we really do appreciate it.
Are you hungry? My favorite cereal is Honey Bunches of Oats.
Every spoonful is a little different. You got 3 kinds of flakes.
The clusters are more of a crunch, you know, where the flakes are more of a crisp.
It's the cereal you'd make if you made cereal.
It's like a mouthful of joy.
Closed captioning of News 4 sponsored by the Pain Management Center at Southeast Alabama Medical Center in Dothan.
You're watching WTVY News 4 This Morning with Lauren Davis and meteorologist Oscar Fan.
It's 6:30. Thanks for joining us. First Lady Laura Bush is in Cairo as she continues her Mideast tour. Earlier in Israel, Bush said she was not surprised by the protesters who heckled her during her visits to the holy sites, given the tensions in the region. We have more now from CBS's Susan Roberts.
Mrs. Bush's peaceful visit to the Church of the Resurrection outside Jerusalem this morning contrasted with rowdy stops Sunday at 2 of the world's holiest sites.
I think the protests are very expected. If you didn't expect them, you didn't know what it would be like when you got here.
Jewish demonstrators demanding the U.S. release of an American Jew convicted of spying for Israel met the First Lady at the Western Wall. Then at the nearby Dome of the Rock Mosque, Palestinians heckled her. One man shouted, "Why is your husband killing Muslims? How dare you come here?" Laura Bush came to the Middle East to help diffuse that growing anti-American sentiment. Her Holy Land stops have also focused on the Middle East peace process. After visiting the 12th century church where some believe Jesus appeared on Easter, the First Lady spoke about Israelis and Palestinians moving past thousands of years of fighting and hatred.
What I'm hoping is that we can put that aside, that it can be our generation that puts that aside so that we can all come to the Holy Land in peace.
In separate meetings with Israeli and Palestinian women, Mrs. Bush urged both sides to work toward peace and said the U.S. will do what it can to help with the process. The First Lady is spending the rest of the day in Cairo, where she is meeting with Egyptian women and appearing on the Egyptian version of Sesame Street. Susan Roberts, CBS News, Washington.
Back in our state, themes of black and white have emerged as a subtle undercurrent in the 16-week trial of former Health South CEO Richard Scrushy. Race is an uncertain element as a jury of 6 blacks and 6 whites deliberates claim that he directed a $2.7 billion earnings overstatement at the rehabilitation and health services chain. Scrushy was surrounded by black supporters most days in court. During closing arguments last week, one of Scrushy's 2 black lawyers, Donald Watkins, comparing the millionaire's plight to his own growing up in segregated Montgomery in the 1950s. The 8-year-old girl who was kidnapped from a Lake Worth, Florida home was found with minor injuries just hours later in an abandoned landfill. Police say Lachelle Nance was reported missing just before 4 o'clock Sunday morning. Her suspected kidnapper, identified as 17-year-old Milagro Cunningham, is in police custody. He had been staying with Lachelle at her godmother's home and called in the report, but Cunningham soon became a person of interest after investigators found several inconsistencies in his story. Lachelle was soon found buried alive inside a yellow recycling bin.
Big rollout dumpster, the type you put roofing material in. I jumped up on the ledge and there was a yellow recycling bin. The lid was flipped closed. I flipped it open, observed a large pile of rocks, and through the rocks you could see a hand and a foot.
The suspect will face charges of attempted murder, sexual battery on a child under 12, and false imprisonment of a victim under 13 years old. Authorities say he will be charged as an adult. Another child who was kidnapped was found alive Sunday as well. It was a stunning turn of events following a nationwide Amber Alert. Kristen Hartman has the details.
Toto here wanted to go for an early morning stroll. So Maria Pahalik took the dog outside. They were walking down this alley when Maria heard a whimper. She followed the noise to a garbage can.
And I'm looking inside, I see baby. I no believe this baby. I'm take it first in my hands. I'm look this baby moving.
The unusual situation that it was, Maria had someone call police.
I'm talk stop, stop, stop. Call police because I'm no good. I'm too much stress. I no more call.
While she took the infant inside, she found a soft spot for the baby from the bin on her bed. He left some dirt and debris there, but she didn't seem to mind.
Baby, beautiful baby, smile.
That beautiful boy has a name, Fernando Torres. He was the subject of an Amber Alert following a kidnapping yesterday. At a tearful news conference, his mother told reporters how she answered a knock at the door. Police say that's when 2 Hispanic men forced their way in and took the child right from her arms. Sonia and the baby's father begged for Fernando's return, and in a roundabout way, they got it. Whoever took Fernando left him in the alley behind Maria's home. When she found the 2-month-old, she thought he was parentless and abandoned.
You found a baby that was kidnapped. Oh my God.
And was thrilled to learn her discovery would ultimately reunite a family.
Yeah, that's nice, beautiful. This baby have parents. This is beautiful, yeah.
Federal investigators are looking into why a single-engine plane crashed and killed 4 people on Coney Island in New York. NTSB investigators are looking at the mechanics, weather, and the performance of the flight crew to try and determine what caused the crash. They're also talking to ground teams and witnesses. The NTSB expects to release a preliminary report Friday.
Currently, we have the wreckage sequestered at the NYPD's aviation unit in a secure hangar behind fencing, and it's guarded.
Investigators are cleaning up the scene and the area should be open this morning. In the Wiregrass, the Creek Indians are filing paperwork with the Small Business Association that will allow the tribe to work with the government to raise money to help Native Americans. Once the tribe is a part of the SBA, it will allow them to generate more money for health care and education for Native Americans. The money will also be used to help purchase land. There are about 1,700 members of the Moshash, Lower Creek Indian tribe. Nationally, there are around 800 Indian tribes.
The importance for us being here today in remembrance of where we came from. If you don't know where you came from, you know not where you're going. It is so important to us to remember our heritage, to remember the suffering.
The Lower Creek Indians will be signing the documents with delegates from Washington, D.C. this Tuesday at 2 p.m. at the Farm Center in New Brockton. Louisiana agriculture officials say rainfall amounts are down for the year around the state, and that is beginning to pose problems for Louisiana farmers. LSU Ag Center officials say heavy rains earlier in the year have been followed by a long dry spell. Since the beginning of May, the state has received on average of only 21% of the normal rainfall for this period, with the extremes ranging from just 7% of normal in central Louisiana to only 40% in the west central region of the state. Area tomato growers say their crops are feeling the heat. Now let's head back over to Chief Meteorologist Oscar Fan. Speaking of the heat, Oscar?
Yeah, a little warm in here, and we've had the same rain situation here in Alabama, about 20, maybe a little bit above that % of rain, and even less of that up until last Friday for most of us. But again, last year, May was a little wetter, but still relatively dry. And then boom, all of a sudden we hit June and it got rather rainy, about 10 inches for the month. So we'll see what happens. There are some similarities this year to last year. And hopefully it'll stop at the end of June and we won't see those similarities carry over to hurricane season, but there's that possibility. 69 degrees is current temperature, winds west-southwest at 7 miles an hour, and temperatures around the area pretty much in the 60s, 77 down at Destin, 73 at Panama City. And as far as what we're looking at with statewide temperatures, in the 60s in Georgia, mix of 60s and 70s, Alabama, Mississippi, and you see low 70s, Memphis, Jackson, mid 70s, pretty humid, New Orleans, 72 at Tampa, 70 at Orlando, 71 at Charleston. Yesterday, pretty much in the mid-80s. We were in the low 80s for the most part on Saturday. Not a bad day at all. Humidity levels dropped a little bit, but still not quite the summertime humidity levels, but enough. It was no problem to break a sweat, but at least it wasn't in the 90s. And we'll be close to that, though, today. 80-degree water temperature now at Panama City Beach. Very similar to forecast for today that we saw last week. We don't expect the widespread activity of strong to severe thunderstorms. There's probably less than a 50-50 chance of a severe thunderstorm watching the area versus what we saw Friday, but there's still that possibility if they really start to fire up later this afternoon. But again, it looks like it's pretty much an early mid-evening type time frame, and then maybe south of us along I-10, still activity will be rumbling around midnight or thereafter. High tides coming up during the morning hours, low tides during the evening. As far as what we're looking at with the tropics, the Caribbean, upper high building, that simply means they may see more thunderstorms develop down there. Could affect all the way up to Florida as we go through the week, southern Florida, the peninsula of Florida. And look at this upper left, this orange area. There's a big mesoscale convective complex. Simply means what happens, you have strong severe thunderstorms develop, and then they kind of combine into this big rain producing area, and the severe levels go down a little bit. There's a low level jet that helps feed this. That low level jet weakens with the sunrise, so as this activity moves to the southeast, it will weaken a little bit, start to break up, but with that concentrated water vapor in areas with the daytime heating, boom, look for individual thunderstorms to fire up yet again. And you can see the general direction is basically headed in this area to the west, and then will come in during the afternoon, more likely evening hours, and will spawn some brief heavy rainfall potential. Looks like once you get north of Birmingham, they won't have anything because it's a little bit further west and south than what we saw on Friday. As that moves through, then maybe some thunderstorms in the morning along the coast around Tallahassee over toward Albany and east, and then it looks like it stays dry for Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, and then widely scattered showers and thunderstorms for Friday, I should say for Saturday and Sunday. And then a low pressure system will start to break up the heat a little bit in Texas, it looks like early next week, and that will come across the Gulf of Mexico just about the time the 1st of June gets here. And remember last year, boy, things turned around as far as rainfall for June, and it looks like at least June will start off with the potential for a good bit of thunderstorm activity in the middle of next week, and we'll have to see where we go from there. Otherwise, the humidity levels will drop a little bit for the middle of this week with this northwesterly flow, so we're not locked into the summertime pattern just yet. But again, look for highs around 90 today officially. That would be the first time this season. But then it looks like for the next 7 to 10 days we'll be in the 80s for highs. As far as the forecast for tomorrow and tomorrow night, you see this front gets a little bit further south, enough to let that drier, lower humidity air get in, at least for this time of the year. But you'll still break a sweat. 90 for a high, 65 for a low, with showers, possibly some strong thunderstorms developing to our west late this afternoon, more likely for us during the early mid-evening hours up to around midnight, a little bit later south and east of us. And then for the rest of the week, pretty dry, but then chance of an isolated shower Friday, widely scattered probably over the weekend. Lauren?
Thank you, Oscar. Up next, find out how prices at the pump are favoring as you head back to work this week. And the Braves are coming home after a few rough games on the road. Chris Harris will have more coming up in the morning sports wrap.
The GMC Envoy has the government's highest side impact crash test rating, 5 stars. And for extra safety, it has 1 more star. The added security of OnStar. Never underestimate the value of professional grade. Use your hot button bonus cash and get $4,000 total cash back on a new 2005 GMC Envoy. Upgrade to professional grade. See the pros at your local Wiregrass area GMC dealers.
Wouldn't it be cool if your family room was an entire state? Whether it's mountains, lakes, canyons, or caverns, Alabama state parks have no shortage of sensational settings. So come find one that will make your family feel at home. Start planning your trip to a state park today. Visit OutdoorAlabama.com. Outdoor Alabama. Share the wonder.
Do you live with back and neck pain? I did, until I called Dr. Shane Black at Southeastern Chiropractic Associates. After a car accident, I thought I'd never be pain-free again. But Dr. Black was able to treat my spine, the source of my pain, so I could get back to my regular active lifestyle. He may be able to do the same for you. Call Dr. Black and set up an appointment for a spinal evaluation today.
Southeastern Chiropractic Associates. We feel good when you feel good.
This is my Steinmart Bunko story. 12 really good friends get together. Everybody antes up $5 each, and there's top prizes. There's about 6 prizes that we choose, and the hostess is the one that actually goes out and selects the gifts for the evening. When I hosted it, I went to Steinmart for all my gifts. The top prize was this gorgeous watch, and then second gift I got a necklace and a bracelet together, and I bought 2 designer bags. Their items are so unique. I mean, everybody loved their gifts. I knew I did good.
Steinmart. Once you go, you get it.
All 12 girls now shop at Steinmart.
It's happening now. The Dodge Memorial Day sales event. Get great deals on Grand Caravan with stow and go seating and storage, Dodge Ram with Hemi Power, the all-new Dakota, the versatile Magnum, and the big size and smooth ride of Durango. Right now, qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can lease a Grand Caravan SXT with available stow and go seating and storage for just $259 a month. Hurry in for great deals on the Dodge lineup at the Memorial Day sales event. Offers end May 31st.
Welcome back to News 4 this morning at 6:45. I'm Lauren Davis. Thanks for joining us. Gas prices across the country have continued to drop over the last 2 weeks. The semi-monthly Lundberg survey says the average price for all grades of gasoline has fallen 6 cents. Self-serve regular grade gasoline now sells for an average of $2.15 a gallon. On May 23, 1994, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis was buried at Arlington National Cemetery beside her first husband, President John F. Kennedy. The former First Lady died on May 19, 1994, in her New York City apartment after succumbing to cancer. Also buried at the site is Jackie Kennedy Onassis' brother-in-law, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and John and Jackie Kennedy's 2 children, Patrick Beauvoir Kennedy, who was 39 hours old after birth, and an unnamed daughter who was stillborn. Jackie O reached icon status while her husband, John F. Kennedy, was president. She was renowned for her social poise and grace. In health news, a new device can make it easier for doctors to monitor heart rates while you are talking on your cell phone or surfing the internet on your laptop. University of Florida engineers have designed a device that uses Doppler radar and wireless technology to check your heart rate and breathing. Researchers say the device can detect heart rate and breathing at a distance of 9 feet and believe they can increase the distance by adding more power to the system. The system can detect heart rates by sending out a radio signal that measures the rate of chest movement. Engineers hope to build the device into cell phones and laptops. A San Antonio husband and wife surgical team is saving babies pain and recovery time. They perform a delicate skull surgery in a new, less invasive way. Wendy Rigby of San Antonio CBS affiliate KENS reports.
Jed is a happy, healthy 5-month-old. He's growing by leaps and bounds, but an abnormality in his skull is threatening his future health. His skull bones fused together before they were supposed to, a condition called craniosynostosis.
It was so obvious. I mean, he fit all the criteria, and the photos of the kids on the internet that had it just were a perfect match.
Jed is undergoing a unique operation at San Antonio's University Hospital. Instead of making a large incision for a traditional open procedure, these doctors operate through 2 small holes using an endoscope, a tiny telescopic camera, to guide their way. Neurosurgeon Dr. David Jimenez and his wife, plastic surgeon Dr. Constance Barone, worked out this streamlined method, which they performed on about 300 babies. They joined the UT Health Science Center last year.
We minimize blood loss, and that's the big area, and because we are minimizing the amount of trauma to the patients, instead of being in the hospitals for a week, they stay overnight, go home next day.
The surgery takes about an hour, and doctors cut away the top section of the skull, removing it through the front hole. In the first 2 years of life, the brain triples in size and needs to grow normally. This procedure makes room. So far, the results have been very good.
The most important thing for us, I think, is knowing that we're sparing the children from a tremendous amount of trauma.
Jed and his family live in Pennsylvania and found out about Dr. Jimenez on the internet. They have high hopes for the baby's future health.
We want him to, look normal and have normal brain development and to just be a normal kid.
Wendy Rigby for CBS News.
Now let's head back over to Chief Meteorologist Oscar Fan with another check of our forecast. Oscar?
I appreciate it, Lauren. 69 degrees, a little bit of patchy fog outside, hazy conditions, low clouds this morning. Winds west-southwest at 7 will be fairly light, and we should see a decent amount of sunshine later this morning, but increasing clouds this afternoon. A pattern today similar to what we saw on Friday. Maybe not quite the coverage of showers and thunderstorms and strong winds, but again, it could be. It's too early to say just yet. We'll show you why in a moment. Temperatures pretty much in the 60s inland. Once you get down the coast, you got a couple of temperatures in the 70s. 77 at Destin, and you see statewide as far as Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. 60s through permeate Georgia, a mix of Alabama and Mississippi. 63 at Meridian versus 70 at Jackson and Memphis, 76 at New Orleans, 72 down at Tampa. This is what we're looking at. Gulfcast for the first time, 80-degree water temperature showing up at Panama City Beach. Look for showers and thunderstorms to erupt down there, probably toward 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, toward the midnight hour, maybe a little after or into the early morning hours tomorrow. And then it looks like it'll be dry for just about all of us until toward the end of the week. Look, high tides later this morning and low tides during the evening hours. Smooth conditions for the water. Light chop as we go through the morning and afternoon hours, and then moderate chop as the thunderstorms start to fire up during the evening hours. This is what we're looking at with the tropics again in the Caribbean. Things are fairly quiet. Start to see a little flow developing, a southeasterly trade flow out of the eastern Caribbean, not quite developed yet in the middle Caribbean. Still got an anomalous and unusual south-southwesterly upper flow pattern coming across southern Mexico, across Yucatan into the Gulf of Mexico. Could induce some low-level showers and thunderstorms develop as we go through the week across Cuba, maybe reaching as far north as the Keys and southern Florida. And you see in the upper left of your screen this big area of orange that develops, a big cluster of thunderstorms that come together. This is not unusual at all in the plains during the summer, but in the late spring, early summer, and even sometimes in the middle of the summer, you get a good northwesterly flow and they'll send them all the way down into the southeast, and this will break up during the morning hours, but you'll have concentrated areas of water vapor left over, and then with the daytime heating, boom, they'll fire back up again, and you can see the general direction is headed basically in our area as we go through the afternoon and evening hours. There's a severe thunderstorm watch until, I think it's 11 Central Time, and 1 or 2 thunderstorms still fairly strong out in this area. For the most part, though, they're just big rainmakers. And you'll see them already starting to cross the Mississippi River, and they'll basically stay south of Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and then head in our general direction, pretty much covering the entire viewing area as we get into the evening hours, and then towards the late evening hours and overnight hours south of, especially along the coast. So again, be aware of what's going on later this afternoon and tonight. These will be coming in from the northwest. Last week they came in from the north. And then it looks like it's a dry week, and actually the humidity levels will drop a little bit for Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll still see the temperatures getting up maybe as cool as the mid-80s, but with the strong sun this time of the year, it'll be hard to be any cooler than that. But it would be fairly comfortable if you're not in the sun. But if you're putting asphalt down on the roads or doing your driveways or on the roofs of the houses, it's a different story. But if you're in the shade, you can take a break from it, then you'll start to feel the little bit drier content of the air, a little bit more comfortable conditions. Today, 90, 91 for a high, variably sunny, humid, hazy, clouds increasing this afternoon into the nighttime hours, showers and thunderstorms developing during the late afternoon, more likely evening hours. Some could be strong, some brief heavy rainfall, and there's a possibility of hail with some of these thunderstorms. And whether or not we have a severe thunderstorm watch is too early to say just yet, but again, it would be during the evening hours. 65 for a low. And then there's your temperatures for the rest of the week. A chance of showers back in the forecast for this weekend, but very similar to last year. June 1st this year falls on what, Wednesday, and it looks like about Tuesday, Wednesday next week, a pronounced increased chance of showers and thunderstorms. So stay tuned on that, but just widely scattered activity over the Memorial Day weekend coming up. Time for our Burger King Wake Up Winter picture, and this week we've got some pictures from Mrs. Richardson's 3rd grade class at Fort Rucker Elementary. This is Alexandra, and I hope I'm getting the last name right, Rolsifer. W-O-L-S-I-F-E-R, Alexander Wolsifer, and kind of showing what we saw last Friday night and maybe again tonight, but quite a few showers and thunderstorms, but it was welcome rainfall in the long run. So Alexander Wolsifer, great effort, put a lot of effort, colors, and everything else into that picture. Call the station, we'll have you Ted get you wake up winning Burger King goodies. Alexander Wolsifer. Call the station, send us your picture. Post Office Box 1089, Dothan, Alabama 36302. Go online and view the recent winners. Again, Mrs. Richardson's 3rd grade class, Fort Rucker Elementary. Lauren.
Thanks, Oscar. The NBA Conference Finals are in full swing. Chris Harris has that and more in the morning sports.
Sunday's game against Alabama doesn't get much bigger for the Auburn baseball team. If the Tigers lose, their season is over. If they win, they still have a shot to get to the conference tournament. Meanwhile, the Tide are already in, but Alabama could still dramatically improve its seeding with a win on Sunday. I don't know where we'll sort it all out once the game is played. First inning, Auburn starts off with a bang. Down 1-0, Josh Bell has 2 men on, and he clears them. Long ball to left center. Tigers go up 3-1, but they're not done there. Very next batter is Carl Ammonite, and he just keeps things rolling. Back-to-back homers. Auburn actually led 5-2 at one point, but Bama mounts a comeback for the 2nd straight day. Tied even things at 5, and then in the 6th, they go ahead for good. Cale Orge makes good on one of his 4 RBIs to take the lead, and Alabama wins the game 11-9. With the loss, Auburn's hopes of the conference tournament play are over. The Tigers finish the regular season at 32-24. Alabama will be making an appearance at Hoover Stadium, though. The Tide finished the season at 17-13 in the SEC, and that gets them a 5 seed, which means that they will play Ole Miss in the late game Wednesday night. The Tide won the regular season series against the Rebels back in April. And a little short-term history for you, Alabama won back-to-back SEC tournament titles in 2002 and 2003. Good news for the Alabama softball team as well. The ladies are heading to Texas for the NCAA Super Regionals. The Tide beat Hofstra 6-0 this afternoon to win their regional championship. So next up is a best-of-3 game series with the Texas A&M Aggies in College Station. Game 1 is Friday night at 7 o'clock. The Atlanta Braves are finally coming home for a few days. Sunday afternoon series finale with the Red Sox marks the end of a 12-game road trip for Atlanta, a trip that has not been kind, only 4 wins to be exact. However, the Braves did get off the schneid with a W Saturday night. They hope to make getaway day just as prosperous, but it'd be tough. The Sox, Matt Clement, just had it working. 7 strikeouts. He went the distance in the afternoon. John Schmaltz was equally as effective, but, well, at least early on he was. Schmaltz had 4 Ks of his own, but was only able to go 4 2/3. The Braves' bats were held pretty much in check all afternoon, managing just 2 runs on 4 hits. However, once Boston ran Smoltz off the mound, Manny Ramirez was able to tee off. Roman Colon gives up the 2-run shot. Red Sox win 5-2. Atlanta finishes its 12-game road trip at an unimpressive 4-8 and heads to Turner Field for a series with the Mets beginning today. The NBA is finally wrapping up its incredibly long season. Conference finals began over the weekend, which means if you're a casual fan, it's time to start paying attention. No, really, there should be some good games over the next 3 weeks, so it may be worth your time. First up, Tim Duncan and the Spurs were in Phoenix on Sunday. How about this? End of the first quarter, that's Manu Ginobili. You got to call glass from there, Manu. Unbelievable. Manu scored 20 points. The aforementioned Duncan had a solid day as well. 28 points and 15 boards of his own as the Spurs beat the Suns at their own high-scoring game. 121-114. San Antonio wins Game 1. Shaq and the Heat host the defending champion Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals this evening. And finally, to the Lynx in Fort Worth, Kenny Perry has been on an absolute tear at the Colonial all weekend. It sure helps when you have shots like this one on the 6. He just pulled the string on it right there. Western Kentucky grad went away from the field on Saturday. He finished things off with a 69 on Sunday. It wasn't even close. Perry beat second-place finisher Billy Mayfair by 7 strokes. That's going to be a look at morning sports. Have a good day, everybody.
You need to break free, see the unseen. So pack up the family, there's plenty of room for everything. The views aren't the only thing that moves you to your destiny. Ford Explorer, an expedition, independent rear suspension, advanced track and 4-wheel drive will keep your adventure alive.
Now get 0% for 60 months. 0% can save you over $10,300 in finance savings on Expedition. Only at your neighborhood Ford dealer.
Chevy Tahoe and Suburban. Tahoe, the most dependable full-size SUV. Suburban, enough interior room to seat up to 9 passengers. Not surprisingly, both are the best-selling full-size SUVs in America. Now get up to $5,500 total cash back on select Tahoe vehicles and inventory. Chevy Tahoe and Suburban, an American revolution. See your South Central Alabama Chevy dealer today.
No SUV has done it before. Mercury Mountaineer is first in owner loyalty 4 years in a row. And now, there's roll stability control for added safety.
Or check out the new compact Mercury Mariner.
A great-looking alternative to Toyota RAV4 or Honda CR-V. And Mariner is Consumers Digest Best Buy.
And now is the perfect time to lease the new Mariner for just $219 a month for only 24 months. See your Mercury dealer today.
Two brand name.
If you don't stop that, I'm taking the kids and leaving you.
New Comcast digital cable gives you an on-screen channel guide you can quickly page through, so you don't have to surf the channels anymore.
The scallions make the sauce. Simmer, do not saute.
When you see news happen, dial *4 on your Alltel phone.
Finally this morning in California, Sunday, a 200-pound black bear tried to beat the heat by taking a dip in a backyard swimming pool. A resident of a ranch near Los Angeles called 911 to report the bear. It attracted the attention of curious neighbors, but no injuries were reported. Los Angeles Animal Services and California State Fish and Game Department personnel shot the bear with a tranquilizer gun. Officials said they would take the bear up into the hills and release it.
Mr. Bear, would you like some honey? Don't mess with the bear. All right, let's show what's going on right now. Just looking for a little comfort relief himself. 69 degrees, current temperature. Do have some patchy fog haze in the area, and temperatures around the area pretty much anywhere from the mid-upper 60s to 77, sticking out at Destin. 90 for a high today would be the first official day we'd have 90 degrees, but it looks like for the rest of the week we won't have to worry about that. But we could see some strong thunderstorms yet again during this evening, similar to what we saw on Friday as they move in from the northwest this time. But it looks dry for the rest of the week, and then widely scattered activity over the weekend. Better chance of rain in about 10 days.
Have a wonderful Monday. Bye-bye.
Good morning, I'm Harry Smith. First Lady Laura Bush got a rude welcome from protesters when she visited holy sites in the Middle East. We'll have details and an interview with Mrs. Bush.
I'm Julie Chen. Police in Florida are calling it a miracle, finding an 8-year-old girl who had been kidnapped and sexually assaulted buried alive at a land